Hello, this is Nicklin. Welcome to Humpback Chronicles. Thanks for the nice notes. It's great to hear from people when we're socializing so little this summer up in Alaska. Anyway, on with today's story. Most of the work I've done with humpback whales, at least in the last century, was focused on song, and specifically Dr. Jim Darling's study on social function of song. And you remember Frank, the first singer we saw, and we got to be able to find singers pretty well. We got to find out that singers were males and had worked on that before we left and did other things for a few years until we came back in 1996. And we came back and Jim still had lots of questions. One of the big questions is always, how are we going to pay for this? How are we going to get started again? And luckily, the second year in 1997, BBC wanted to come and cover our work and pick up some of the expenses and really made things work out. Also working with them, we really saw how important it was going to be in the future to have a movie camera, a video camera on the boat so we could tell our own story in the future. But that is the future, and we'll get there. But the 1999 National Geographic story on humpback whales was still about stills and still shot with film. And over 3 seasons of shooting, all the pictures in that story came from 3 days and probably about 5 hours. The lead picture of a cow and a calf humpback whale is the only really decent picture I shot when we came back in 1996. And next to that is a close-up of an eye, and it's the eye of an animal we're going to introduce you to called the friendly singer. We also ran into Frank, the first singer I'd ever worked with back in 1979, 18 years later, pretty much in the same spot and about the same time of year. It's amazing how long you wait for those really great opportunities, but how great it is when they show up. It's really hard to take a still picture of a whale singing that looks like a whale singing. And then there was the friendly singer. I think this only happened once, but a whale that would go down and sing for 20 minutes, a regular song, and then come up and sit under the boat. He'd look at the hydrophone, he'd rub on the hydrophone. At one point, he had the hydrophone under his pectorals trying to drag the recording gear and Jim into the water from the boat. And then he'd go down to sing again, come back and hang around under the boat again. And that was great, because this is the time of film, so you only had 36 pictures. So you'd shoot a roll of film while the whale was up and under the boat. He'd go down and sing. I could get into the boat, change film, sometimes change lenses, be ready and come back when he came back under the boat again. So most of the pictures from the story in 1999 are of the friendly singer. The scientific question we were working on at the time was who joined singers. Because of Frank and the animals we studied in the early 80s, we knew that singers were males, but who would come up to the male? And the singer was so great, the friendly singer, because he stayed around the boat until he was joined, and it was the first time I could photograph the singer being joined by another whale. And it was another male, and they've all been other males. It was such a luxury, especially back in the film days, to have a whale that would stay around, one that you could shoot, think about, shoot again. And especially when you couldn't see what you were getting, you couldn't see the pictures instantly like you do with digital. Try to imagine all the possibilities, have the time, try the things, cover yourself. It was just a wonderful experience, and things like the friendly singer stay with you for a lifetime. It's really great to share these moments with you. It makes me happy that I'm a photographer. If I wasn't a photographer, I didn't have the pictures, I don't think I'd dare tell these stories. As always, there's so many people to thank, but especially at the end of the 90s, National Geographic, not just the magazine, but also the Grosvenor Council, were key to keeping us going. Gary Weber joined us at this time. He is still on our advisory council, and we look forward to seeing him in Maui every year. Thank you for joining me this week, and thank you very much for your support. Bye-bye.